So this is what it says in the correction of error. The alertness of the ego to the errors of other egos is not the kind of vigilance the Holy Spirit would have you maintain. Egos are critical in terms of the kind of sense they stand for. They understand this kind of sense because it is sensible to them. To the Holy Spirit, it makes no sense at all. To the ego, it is kind and right and good to point out errors and correct them. This makes perfect sense to the ego, which is unaware of what errors are and what correction is. It makes perfect sense to the ego to point out errors and correct them. This makes perfect sense to the ego, which is unaware of what errors are and what correction is. Errors are of the ego, and correction of errors lies in the relinquishment of the ego. When you correct a brother, you're telling him that he is wrong. He may be making no sense at the time, and it is certain that if he's speaking from the ego, he will not be making sense. But your task is to tell him he's right. You do not tell him this verbally if he's speaking foolishly. He needs correction at another level, because his error is at another level. He's still right because he's a son of God. His ego is always wrong, no matter what it says or does. This is brilliant. This is such a powerful teaching and advice. If you point out the error of your brother's ego, you must be seeing through yours, because the Holy Spirit does not perceive his errors. Interesting. This must be true, since there is no communication between the ego and the Holy Spirit. The ego makes no sense, and the Holy Spirit does not attempt to understand anything that arises from it. Since he does not understand it, he does not judge it, knowing that nothing the ego makes means anything. When you react at all to errors, you're not listening to the Holy Spirit. When you react to errors, you're not listening to the Holy Spirit. He has merely disregarded them. And if you attend to them, you're not hearing him. If you do not hear him, you're listening to your ego and making as little sense as your brother whose errors you perceive. This cannot be correction. Yet it is more than merely a lack of correction for him. It is the giving up of correction in yourself. So this teaching, again, do not see error. And obviously, that must be a state of mind. So all our function is forgiveness. Forgiveness and communication, giving the gift. Okay, here is what's helpful. Here is what I'm guided to offer. And we can offer a lot when we have released our own guilt. When a brother behaves insanely, you can heal him only by perceiving the sanity in him. You can heal him, even that. When a brother behaves insanely, you can heal him only by perceiving the sanity in him. If you perceive his errors and accept them, you're accepting yours. If you want to give yours over to the Holy Spirit, you must do this with his. Unless this becomes the one way in which you handle all errors, you cannot understand how all errors are undone. How is this different from telling you that what you teach you learn? So this is about our own mind. You teach what you would learn. You teach with your mind, with your thoughts. If your thoughts are judgmental or anything but forgiving, you teach attack. This is interesting. This is very good. Your brother is as right as you are, and if you think he's wrong, you're condemning yourself. You cannot correct yourself. Is it possible then for you to correct another? Yet you can see him truly because it is possible for you to see yourself truly. It is not up to you to change your brother, but merely to accept him as he is. His errors do not come from the truth that is in him, and only this truth is yours. His errors do not come from the truth that is in him, and only this truth is yours. To perceive errors in anyone and to react to them as if they were real is to make them real to you. You will not escape paying the price for this, not because you're being punished for it, but because you're following the wrong guide and will therefore lose your way. Your brother's errors are not of him, any more than yours are of you. Accept his errors as real and you have attacked yourself. If you would find your way and keep it, see only truth beside you, for you walk together. The Holy Spirit in you forgives all things in you and in your brother. His errors are forgiven with yours. Atonement is no more separate than love. And then he says, time is only for healing. Accept only the function of healing in time, because that is what time is for. The Holy Spirit forgives everything because God created everything. Do not undertake his function, or you will forget yours. So the Holy Spirit is the forgiver in the mind. Just need to line up with the Holy Spirit. That's how we forgive all brothers, all sisters, everyone, anyone you think of right now that is bothering you in some way. It's like that Holy Spirit, forgive him in you. So what is it that we need to do? We need to learn to want that God gave you the function to create in eternity, and accept only the function of healing in time, because that is what time is for. You need to learn to want this. The time is for healing. Correction of error. Very good. So yeah, we could take a moment now and just feel the Holy Spirit within us. Just feel this connection. And go into this restful place of peace. The place where you don't perceive error. Where you just stay really open. Lift up anything that is unforgiven. Anyone that comes to your mind. Nothing can be avoided to be seen. If peace is to be ours. Yeah, we're so called into an experience beyond this world, beyond the world of form. And these messages from Jesus in the Course show it so clearly. But even the next section is called the Holy Spirit's Plan of Forgiveness. It's very interesting because he continues to talk about this. We cannot make error real first and then forgive it, because then truth becomes a mystery. If we make an error real and then think we need to forgive what is real, then truth is unreal. And then we're lost. So we need to overlook error from the beginning, he's saying. Because the ego's plan for forgiveness is to first see error clearly, and then overlook it. That's what the ego would say. And that's why there is so much hardship and guilt in the mind, because you first thought the error was real. Then you're trapped. And then you're going to try to see it as unreal. He says, this is the ego's way. How many have tried? I have. How can you overlook what you have made real? By seeing it clearly, you have made it real and cannot overlook it. This is where we need God. This is why we need the Holy Spirit. We made the mistake of making the error real, and therefore we cannot overlook it. We need a miracle. And because this is where the ego is forced to appeal to mysteries, insisting that you must accept the meaningless to save yourself, because truth becomes a mystery, even meaningless. From this point of view, when you are stuck in thinking an error is real, truth is meaningless. Truth is a mystery that you cannot reach. Insisting that you must accept the meaningless to save yourself. Many have tried to do this in my name, forgetting that my words make perfect sense because they come from God. And this is the clue. They forgot that Jesus' words make perfect sense. The mind didn't want to be in that experience. It wanted to see error. But Jesus says that his words are as sensible now as they ever were, because they speak of ideas that are eternal. So they always make sense. What he has to communicate with us will always make sense. So we need to find a place in us where we want to hear it, where we want to experience it. Because the other place is the place that perceives errors, makes them real, and then tries to forgive them and makes truth unreachable. This is a guilty place. But here he says, forgiveness that is learned of me does not use fear to undo fear. We want to learn to use the forgiveness as he uses it. It does not use fear to try to undo fear. Nor does it make real the unreal and then destroy it. Nor does it make real the unreal and then destroy it. Forgiveness through the Holy Spirit lies simply in looking beyond error from the beginning, and thus keeping it unreal for you. Do not let any belief in its realness enter your mind, or you will also believe that you must undo what you have made in order to be forgiven. Do not let any belief in the realness of the error enter your mind, because then you will also believe that you must undo what you have made in order to be forgiven. What has no effect does not exist, and to the Holy Spirit, the effects of error are non-existent. By steadily and consistently cancelling out all its effects, everywhere and in all respects, he teaches that the ego does not exist and proves it. It's like illusions fight only with themselves, and they have their own world. This world. Planet Earth is the world of illusion. But truth stands beyond it in the light, is not affected. So when we transcend our errors, our believed errors, our guilt, which has only one source, is the belief in separation, the belief in the unreal. When we forgive that, we will enter the real world, which is the true perception, which is a happy, it's a happy place where the world ends in laughter, where the world becomes less and less important, external, it becomes less external, it becomes less imposing. Yeah. And that place is available, the place of peace. It's where we need to have a prayer life. We need to be in prayer. Jesus said in the Bible, pray unceasingly. This is how we release the false world and open up to the real world through constant communion. We can't be too bothered with characters, specialness, interpersonal things, because it's not about that. The ego can pull us into that and we get preoccupied and we lose ourselves. But that's just the specialness that is not real. So yeah, just need to nurture the relationship with God and forgive what is not that, and be truthful within. Sometimes we say we need to own our feelings, our projections, to like take responsibility for our minds, basically. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions about these ideas? Or something you want to lift up? Hey.
Hi. See no errors. I can see I'm watching my mind every day, watching how not only I see errors, but I look for errors, like this little something on wheel doing something and looking for errors. Who's guilty? And I'm tired of this. It's just And I'm like, ah. So I guess it sees error in this too, anyways. But when you said join with the Holy Spirit, forgiveness.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like how he said that. Don't take his job. He is the one. He is the forgiveness.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense to wake up from a
Mhm.
world of illusion. So
Yeah,
many erroneous thoughts to,
it's absurd.
yeah,
It's all there is. In the
yeah,
details, even in the details, it's like, come on. Yeah,
yeah.
it's intense. Um, um, I've gone through a period where it's almost like, okay, I give up. I can't do this. I failed. So I'm watching this too. It's been maybe a year.
Mm.
It's a more life. It's almost like, okay, you're 60. Let's finish this one and come back, kind of thing. Thoughts.
Sorry.
No, you can. Thank you. Yeah, I failed. I mean, if I'm not awakened yet, it's not going to happen. I did. So that's the train of thoughts. So these are. This is false, right? This is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. The ego cannot wake up.
Yeah,
That's a misunderstanding. And
right.
the mind is awake. Mind is already awake. And you're not left behind.
Ah.
But yeah, I think it is intense. It's intense for everyone. And to see the themes, you said like every day there seem to be like judgments or seeing a lot of error. And yeah, but come back to this, to left the error away, left the ego away. Yeah. I've had those fantasies of like, okay, when this life ends, maybe I can come back to a much lighter life, like choose a little better parents and a different style. But it's just, I'd rather focus on that awakening is possible. Inevitable. And in the present, it's the key is in the present, not in the future. Definitely not in the next lifetime. It's funny with age and time and space. And I told everyone here, let's experiment. Let's remove the clocks. Let's not live by the clock at all. Everyone laughed because I shared the other morning I woke up and I felt refreshed and thought I'd go take a bath. And then I looked at the time and it was 3 a.m. Yeah. So we're not here to judge times or, it's nice to remove the clock and see what the mind does. Did we put so much safety in time? Why? God needs to be our safety because He is. That's the good news. Yeah, the message, forgive the past and let it go, for it is gone. This is an important message. Ego will try to bring the past like a heavy sack, pulling it along. But we need to forgive it and drop it. Because it is the past. It's gone because it is the past. If we bring it with us, we made it real in the present. Like he says, we made it real again to us. It seemed to be real in the past, but we make it real again. And that sounds like hard work, to make something real again that was already unreal in the first place, and it is already over. That's a mind effort. That's why we get tired. If we keep doing that, we get tired, exhausted, and depressed, and sick. Yeah, to in the present be willing to see and release the past, whatever form it takes. We have an important function in our own mind, a kingdom we must rule. See every little error the mind made and question it, throw it away, see it disappear. But we need to see it for it to disappear. We cannot avoid it or buy into it. So yeah, question it. If a day feels, overwhelming or a lot of stuff going on or coming up, yeah, to come back to remembering, to question it, to join with spirit, sit down, take a look at it. Don't think it real. Don't think it real and then live from it. You need to keep questioning it. So we're on an adventure in that way. It's pretty much always something to look at, isn't it? In the mind. Yeah, we're called to remember our innocence. Innocence. That's really the only problem, is all that guilt, getting the innocence. Like if you always remember your innocence, you have no problems. You won't be afraid of anything. Jesus asks us to see our brother as sinless. Ask not how you can see him without his body. Ask rather, do I want to see him sinless, guiltless? That's a good question, Or do I want to see that one sinless, or do I want him to be guilty? That's why you need to practice. Keep asking that within yourself. And if you want to see someone as guilty, okay, then you know what your task is, to forgive. Let the forgiver in, the Holy Spirit, like we read. And ourselves, forgive ourselves. We have a beautiful lesson today, lesson 310. In fearlessness and love I spend today. In fearlessness and love I spend today. This day, my Father, would I spend with you as you have chosen all my days should be. And what I will experience is not of time at all. The joy that comes to me is not of days nor hours, for it comes from heaven to your Son. This day will be your sweet reminder to remember you, your gracious calling to your Holy Son, the sign your grace has come to me, and that it is your will that I be set free today. These are not just nice words. These are like, yes, invitation. We spend this day together, you and I. And all the world joins with us in our song of thankfulness and joy to Him who gave salvation to us and who set us free. We are restored to peace and holiness. There is no room in us for fear today, for we have welcomed love into our hearts. So beautiful. There is no room for anything other than love, for we welcomed it into our hearts. Fearlessness and love I spent today. I think we'll say good night with that. Thank you. Mm.